It's week 3 of the National Football League, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Lions and the Cardinals, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time. Flight quarterback, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the first weekend of autumn. NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Cardinals offense heading out, and they do so behind Kyler Murray, their dynamic quarterback in his 6th season now from Oklahoma.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team.
First play from scrimmage. Here's Murray. Trey McBride. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now, this defense for the Lions, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run. Here's the former Seminole. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Calls for the catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Detroit gearing up for their opening drive here, led by Matthew Stafford, the veteran for #1 pick in 2009.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week. First team to win.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons. Now 2nd and 9. They'll send the tight end in motion. Stafford now to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. He shook his head, released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
This to Laporte, right side. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He'll go right back to St. Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for a first down, his catch of the opening drive.
And this young man does nothing but continue to ascend to the top. Very similar to his team. Last year alone, he finished in the top 5 in catches, yards, and touchdowns, tied for second in the league with 119 total grabs. Not bad for a former 4th-round pick, and he and his Lions continue to take aim at the rest of the league.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 8. Reynolds will go in motion right. Throwing is Stafford. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time. That's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. You look at this Arizona defense. And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Bates' kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. In that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. But quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And able to get this out to the 25. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
That is incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Murray going to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the win. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Open man, here's Benson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Murray now to throw. Oh, he stays up. And his throw here is incomplete. The Cardinals at 0-2 here to begin the season. Endless aches in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st down, it's Benson. Oh, what a move. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Ball on the 40 now, 1. Now the veteran of a handful of teams, it's Chase Edmonds. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first. Murray going to fire this out to Harrison. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A gain of 13, it's a first down. Now Murray. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. To throw is Murray. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Tip Ryman with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. Well, down in this part of the field, love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Prater for the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And Detroit getting set to go now. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Stafford. That is cut by Laporta. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties, and then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. In motion, the tight end. Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. You look at this Arizona defense. And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
You have to be very proud being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Head off to Gibbs, headed right here. Tackle made there by Budda Baker.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
Getting his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 30. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Stafford. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Back to throw, Stafford. And right side is St. Brown. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Stafford. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Now Stafford, slant pass. He's got Reynolds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Now it's Stafford. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for them, end with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
So here are the Cardinals to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. From the 35, here's 2nd and a yard. Kyler going to give this to Benson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Here's Murray. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. This throw in and with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those, but 3rd down coming up. Throwing now is Murray. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Reeves-Maybin in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense and receiver once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. Stafford now to throw. Over the middle and taken in by Laporta. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down. Reynolds will go in motion right. Here's Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Play action. Stafford. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. To the air again. Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Gibbs. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. To throw is Stafford. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Off the option, here's Murray running left. And he's able to get out to the 32. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. They run over center with Benson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Murray going to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The visitors' offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. Throwing is Stafford. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 2nd down and 3. In motion goes the tight end. Now Stafford. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Operating from the gun. Stafford, throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Again, it's Stafford. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
You put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Back to throw again. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Oh, it's Murray. This is caught. It's Brown. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down. Now Murray. He'll get that complete to Harrison. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Murray. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Throwing again, Murray. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. And he correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Geno Smith, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. And lastly, on Monday Night Football, our first doubleheader of the year, Jaguars, Bills at 7:30, followed by Commanders and Bengals kicking off 45 minutes later. In the first half, the Cardinals did what they always do, and that's rely on their quarterback, Kyler Murray. He has a touchdown pass, and that amounted to the only touchdown of the game for either team thus far.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The second half starts with a run by Gibbs.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime means had figured out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Stafford.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Stafford. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Here's Stafford.
And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Benson. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here comes Benson on the toss right. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. To throw is Murray. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Let's take it inside his own 40. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And out will come the offense as they take over. This offense making its way back out, led by their wide receiver. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this 3rd quarter. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. Oh, nice move in midfield. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Back to throw, Stafford. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
A give up the middle with Benson. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 40. 61 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Murray now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Running out of the gun here with Benson.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. On play action, it's Murray.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, this offense and their wideout headed back onto the field. And you see the numbers for him into this 3rd quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open throughout.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Now Stafford. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle.
And St. Brown going to have the Lions first down as the tackle made up around the 33-yard line.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Stafford now to throw. Reynolds with a catch out on the right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun, Stafford.
He'll drop this one off to Swift.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
This a 2nd and 8.
Murray now.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
That one a first down pickup of 8. Here's Murray.
Pass complete there to Harrison.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. They fake the handoff, now Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw.
A short one here, caught by McBride. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now is Murray.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Benson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on 4th.
Going for it. Here's Benson.
And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Lions will take over. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
In motion, the tight end.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here.
And no room to run. Might have gotten a yard, that's all. Second down.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, here's Murray.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Now Murray off play action. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. Now it's Stafford.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 4. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Stafford going to give it to Swift. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Stafford.
Over the middle and taken in by Laporta.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
This will be caught at about the 6. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
Gibbs diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads to the go-ahead touchdown.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect a lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day 1 of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Murray now running right on the option.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. To throw, it's Murray.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
On first down, it's Benson.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Murray going to throw. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. From the gun, Murray. This is taken in by McBride. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Trey McBride, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cards are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
The tight end in motion right. Back to throw, Stafford.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Stafford.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Again, it's Stafford. That's into the hands of Reynolds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Counter play, here's Gibbs.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Stafford. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
In motion left goes a tight end.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
To throw is Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So apparently the bank is open, and fortunate for them as it gives them a 4th quarter lead.
And you talk about being fortunate? Fortune was definitely on their side there. I think 9 times out of 10, this ball hits the bar and comes right down. But he manages to put a little English on it, and he gets it to go.
The Cardinals offense and Kyler Murray headed back out onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. This is 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. That's complete to McBride. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Murray. He's got McBride.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Back to throw. Murray. Able to get this one to McBride. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. Murray to throw. Goes right back to McBride. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Here comes 2nd down at 5. He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Here's 1st and 10. Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. One last throw here for Stafford. And this is going to be caught.
It's caught, and they've won the football game. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Lions, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.